begin with, Lost Ark has 5 main base classes: the Warrior, Martial Artist, Gunner, Mage, and Assassin. And each of these classes offers their own distinct playstyle, look, and role within a team, as well as their own strengths and weaknesses. And then once you select your base class, those classes then branch into what are known as advanced classes.
Yeah, in total it's like 15 or 16 different classes, because each category has like subcategories. It's kind of like specs in WoW, for example.
Specializations, if you will. Some classes have more advanced classes than others, and in the future, more will be added. The Korean version of the game has more already, but for Western launch, this video will cover what we will have available to begin with. Starting off with the Warriors. Warriors are the powerhouses of Arekkz. They may not be the most nimble, so instead they stand their ground and make up for mobility with cataclysmic impact. And while not all Warriors are tanks in the conventional sense, they are your beefy frontline offensive options. So if
I don't know, it's like, I don't know what I want to play. I feel like Warriors would be fun, right? Because like Barbarian and Diablos 3 is super fun. You know, you're really in there, and it's fun, but I'm not sure, because I like Rangers too, and Mages. I don't like Mages too much, but I'm thinking right now Warrior, Assassin, or like a range character.
If playing the tank is something you resonate with, then you'll probably find your home with the Warriors. Your first advanced class is the Berserker. Basically, it's the dude with the giant, big-ass greatsword. Berserkers are powerful warriors with high damage, greatsword attacks, and potent defense.
Berserker was fun in the beta.
When they enter their burst mode, they are all but unstoppable. In this heightened state, they gain increased attack and movement speed, and unlock a special skill that delivers a world of hurt to their enemies. Your next option is the Paladin. For those of you that want a nice blend of divine justice alongside protection and defense, this might be a good pick. Paladins have a direct line to the powers of the gods, channeling their ancient magic into potent offensive and defensive moves alike. They can use holy skills and buffs with the Holy Book to support their team from behind, or they can wield a sword and bring punishing skills to bear on the front line.
That skill is really sick.
Then finally, for now at least, your third option is the Gun Lancer. This dude is straight out of Monster Hunter. He quite literally has a gun lance. It's not like a gun lance, it is a gun lance. As the first line of defense, Gun Lancers take the brunt of the enemy's attack with their defensive stance and battlefield shield to help keep their party safe. And while the Gun Lance is of course a formidable weapon, their true value derives from their ability to protect allies and absorb damage like a sponge. So definitely a good pick if you really want to lean into the tank side of things. Then next up, the second class is the Martial Artist. This is definitely more so a pick for those of you that often play the Monk or even Rogue type classes. These quick-footed fighters like to rush the enemy with combined attacks at lethal speed that can only be described as breakneck. And while they have fantastic...
Yeah, I'm looking at this too because I played a lot of Monk in Diablo 3 as well, and the Monk's super nice. It's like really fast-paced. You have a lot of movement speed, and it's just satisfying when you get your, like, some abilities off, right? I haven't played Monk in the new season, but I don't know, past Monk was really fun, because you get a lot of CC too. I just feel like you have a lot of control as a Monk character.
Damage output, they are not as durable.
You can turn into a tornado.
So you do need to be a little bit more mindful of your placement.
There you go.
Your first advanced class is the Striker, a new one for the beta as well, one that I am particularly excited to try out. The Striker is a martial arts class that attacks enemies like a strong wind. Since they're equipped with a variety of physical skills with fast movement, they display splendid aerial combos after hitting enemies quickly, and they use powerful elemental skills to turn the tide in battle. So basically, they're experts at juggling, so you'll get used to seeing mobs up in the air as you rack up that damage. Your second offering is the War Dancer. Not merely masters of martial arts, War Dancers augment their lightning quick fighting skills with elemental power. So
they both have like a tornado / whirlwind circly sphere thing. That's pretty cool, I guess. I don't know, it doesn't seem too interesting yet though.
They can store up elemental energy to unleash in devastating attacks and
they look the same to me, I don't know.
So a good blend if you like a bit of punchy as well as some fancy magic. Sort of like a combat mage, definitely not a mage, more like flaming punches. Your third offering is the Scrapper. Armed with a heavy gauntlet, Scrappers draw on 2 inverse forms of attack energy that feed off of each other to deliver non-stop destruction. With excellent attack, defense, mobility, and lasting power, they're well balanced enough to throw enemies off their guard. So this is basically a good pick if you like the idea of the martial artist, but perhaps you want a little bit more survivability.
Okay.
And then finally,
that actually sounds, that's the most convincing to me so far, the Scrapper. I want to play that.
The fourth offering is the Soul Fist. The Soul Fist switches between melee and ranged attacks, which can be used together for explosively powerful combos. They channel a special energy called Adamants, which they can then imbue into abilities or use to sustain themselves for longer through fights. And it's also a good pick if you want to fire a Kamehameha beam into your enemies. Then moving on to the third class.
Alright, I think the Scrapper's looking nice right now.
You have the Gunners. This is your pick if you prefer the ranged setup like Gunners. In games like this. If you play snipers.
I played Demon Hunter the most in Diablo 3. I played Hunter for fucking like over 10 years, and wow. So I love ranged, like bow, gun, damage dealing classes. So I suspect I'll probably be going with one of these.
Rangers, archers, that sort of thing. You might want to consider this class. Wielding high-tech weapons or bows and arrows that never jam, you want to keep an eagle eye on these sharpshooters as they may even hit you with their worst shot.
I think this was one of the most popular classes too in the beta. I think most people played one of these subspecs.
The first advanced class is the Gunslinger. With a gun for
the Gunslinger, yeah.
And the ability to switch between them quickly, Gunslingers are deadly opponents at any range. Light on their feet, thanks to their cat-like reflexes, Gunslingers are hard to pin down, and they're quick to unload a flurry of shots on any unwary foe. So if you want lots of options, this is a good pick.
The Gunslinger, I think, has 3 different weapons though, and I just feel like juggling those weapons and abilities might get a little, not boring, but I don't know. I don't know if I would like that playstyle, you know? It's just a lot, because each gun has like 4 or 5 different abilities, then juggling all of them, and like, I'm guessing the best way to do it is like, use all these abilities, switch gun, use all these abilities if you're in this range, you know? So, I don't know, I definitely want to try it out before I, you know, pick it or not.
Second on the list is the Artillerist.
I don't want to play this
platform. Artillerists believe in firepower and lots of it.
This seems cool, but it just looks so like you move so slow.
With some of the biggest guns under the sun, they may not be the most mobile fighters. Think of it like a tank version of a gunslinger, but they do make up for their lack of agility with huge mechanical launchers and other hard-hitting weapons, heavy armor, and incredible destructive force.
The weapons are
pretty
sweet.
With their flexible triple-wielding playstyle and brash attitude, you might mistakenly think that these guys have a death wish. They do, but don't worry about it. It's just for their opponents. They can choose the most effective weapon from an arsenal that includes a double handgun, a shotgun, and a rifle.
Oh, okay, this is the Gunslinger. Okay, no, this was the one I was thinking about.
Meaning you have a nice blend of options for close range, medium range, and long range encounters. And then your fourth option is the...
I'm getting all his names mixed up. So you got... What do you got here?
Arrows that never jam. You want to keep an eagle eye on the that sort of thing. You might want to consider this class. Wielding high-tech weapons or bows and arrows that never jam. You want to keep an eagle eye on these sharpshooters as they may even hit the Gunslinger.
Gunslinger, sharpshooter, okay.
Quickly, range encounters. And then your fourth option is the Sharpshooter, the Legolas of the pack, if you will.
I want to play this guy, I think. I like the bows. The bows are cool.
Have custom effects. Their high survivability and agility keep them in the fight for the long haul, and their stealthy machinations are excellent for exploiting enemy weaknesses. Following on from this, your fourth class is the Mage. This is where you go if the role of the caster is what you know best, whether that be damage or support. These mystical conjurers tap into the ancient magic of Arekkz to cast deadly spells on evil forces, heal the wounded, or support allies.
It depends though. I do like Witch Doctor in Diablo 3, so maybe I can play the Summoner. I like mages who get a lot of minions and stuff. That's what's cool to me. But
first up, you have the Bard. This is your pick if you really want to support your team. Virtuoses of the Lian Harp, Bards can evoke soothing.
Oh, there's too many options. I play support in like all the games I play too, right? In League of Legends, I play support. Overwatch, I played support. I do like the support role and like those types of games. So maybe Bards for me. I'm just like, and I imagine other people are having this issue. It's like I can see myself liking like 5 of these classes, you know, maybe even more. I guess it's just, but I just want to pick one to start with, which is the hard part, right? That's the hard part.
Serenades to heal their team or unleash a chorus of pain on their unfortunate foes. Their attack power is rather low, but their ability to support allies makes them a harmonious part of any team. They can also buff up your attacks, so in late game dungeons and other activities, they are an incredibly welcome addition to any team.
That's a factor too, is like what class is going to be in demand. You know, I want to go to end game raiding and dungeons. So if I play a Bard, I probably have a lot of spots, right? easy to get into a group. That's a factor. I mean, I bet it's not going to be a super popular class compared to the like more heavy damage dealers. Same thing with a tank, right? I mean, who's going to play the I think the Paladin / Gunlancer aren't going to be as popular as like the Berserker or any of these other DPS classes, so they're probably going to get a spot a lot quicker too. Like right now I'm having that issue on Final Fantasy. I'm leveling my my Dragoon through like MSQ, but when you have to do a dungeon you have to wait like 15 minutes. I'm just like, oh, it kind of sucks.
Your other option for now is the Summoner. Despite their delicate constitution, summoners are a force to be reckoned with in any fight. They call forth spirits of the elements to fight for them, and each elemental has their own special skills to help the summoner shine in every situation. So if you like having pets or minions in these kinds of games to battle alongside you, then the summoner has your name on it.
I've only showed a bird.
Finally, the
only pet they have.
Is the Assassin. Again, another pick for those of you that like the rogue stealth playstyles. These mysterious melee makers fight demonic with demonic, channeling dark powers in the name of the light in quick, colourful attacks. Your first pick is the Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunters prefer to beat demons at their own game. They can shapeshift into powerful demonic forms to unleash chaotic power. When their inner demon is unleashed, Shadow Hunters get to access incredibly destructive power and increased health and movement speed. So basically, it's kind of like DMC Devil Trigger. Meanwhile, your alternate pick is the Deathblade. Deathblade is an assassin class that uses a total of 3 swords that they wield alongside the power of chaos to swiftly slash their foes. The fast-paced combo attacks from the light dual swords and the longsword overpower enemies, leading to death by 1,000 cuts. So again, if you like the sound of multiple different weapons to basically mix up your combat, consider trying this out. But as you can now begin to see, there really is a class for every situation, and they're all good in their own rights, so pick the one that resonates best with your chosen playstyle and have some fun. Remember to keep it locked for more Lost Ark, as we'll be bringing you more guides and content over the course of the beta weekend. And
okay, that helps a little bit. I don't want to play Mage. I don't really want to play I don't know, maybe the Bard, actually. Maybe play a Bard. I don't think I'll play the Assassins. I'm not super into the Assassins. Maybe as like an alt eventually, but not for main. It's just not my type of like play style. I'm looking at like the bow guy. I think his name is Hawkeye. I'm looking at the bow guy right now, or one of the other gunners, except the artillerists. The artillerist seems too slow to me. I don't want to play a martial artist. Maybe as an alt, like I said. Depends on, I don't know. All these martial artists kind of look the same to me, just like with very subtle differences, right? I mean, 2 of them have the same whirlwind ability, except one was like a tornado, the other one was like water themed. And then the warriors, I'm not really super into tanks, but mainly I played the Berserker, and the Berserker was fun. And I feel like, especially with this action RPG style game, with all these mobs coming at you, the combat with melee is just really satisfying. So I think I'll definitely start with either the Bard or a Gunner. I'm kind of breaking it down to those after this video. You know, let me know what you guys think. I'm curious as to what the popular consensus is amongst the classes, but I think I'm going to go with that. This video definitely helped though.